everyone and welcome back. My name is Sarah. I go by Lady Lugana here on Flosstube, and this is a channel all about cross-stitch. I'm excited to join you again today. Welcome back to all of my returning friends and other viewers, and welcome if you are new. So I have a lot to share today. I went to Midsummer Stitch, the virtual retreat with Lindy Stitches, so I have some stuff to chat about that. And then many of you saw last time that I finished a large piece, which necessitated essentially me working on it for the entire month of June. So then I have a lot of little fiddly starts and things as a result of having been monogamous for the entire month of June. But I'm excited to be here today, and we'll just dive right in. So I'll start. I have a small finish. For the month of July, I worked a little bit on some Christmas in July. The first one was a candy cane Santa ornament. This is a collaboration by Mill Hill and Jim Shore. And this is candy cane Santa. He's glaring, I'm sorry. Now this is one of a series that they have both snowmen and Santa ornaments in this series. So there you can kind of see the little snowmen and a couple more of the Santas. And this is my little finish. The light is very bright. Let me see if I can. I don't know if that's better or worse. Isn't he cute? Oh my goodness. So I have yet to finish any of my ornaments fully, but he's full of beads. He had some back stitching. He was a car project for a long time, and so he took forever. But he was actually a fairly intense stitch for some of these smaller little ornaments. So
I like how the beads pop in the light.
Are they shiny?
Yeah.
All that glitters. So I have 3 small ornament finishes now that are Mill Hill. 2 Christmas and 1 Halloween. And so these are my ornament finishes. Put Santa down and I'll show you. I like this one because of the Westie. As you can see, I've added to total random interjection side note. We went to Kittery, Maine this past weekend, or yesterday technically, to meet one of my husband's friends. And so we stopped at antique shops along the way. And we found this amazing antique shop, and she had the vintage Westie teddy bear to go with my other, coconut. You guys are going to be like, I don't care about this, and think I'm nuts, but I'm going to share anyway. So this is Brandywine. This is Lilliput. This is from the 1920s. And then this is from the 1930s, I believe. So Lilliput and Meadow-Rue. Yeah. It's okay. I'm just a little weird. We'll put Meadow-Rue down here. Okay. And Brandywine back up there. Okay. Total side note. All that to say is I like Westies. So my ornament collections, and then my finish for Jolly July. And a complete tangent. So these are fun. I highly recommend getting some of these to stitch. I plan on trying to get them put onto purple felt so that I can actually fully finish them. And so now let me show you some of my starts. These are piddly starts. I started these next 2 projects on August 1st. And then shortly thereafter started painting the kitchen. So I've been cutting in the kitchen, and my stitching time has not been as robust. So this is the first one I started with my from Patty Douglas. She's freaking froggin' on Instagram, and we started this together on August 1st. This is Early Working, Martha Tucker, 1776. Ooh, excuse me. Can't tell my light is, there we go. And this is what this looks like. This is a popular pattern for the 250th. And when I say a piddly start, I mean this is an extra piddly start. I started this on 40 count Colonial linen. I don't know the maker. I'll have to Google it and see if there's any more than one Colonial. But it's kind of this like blue gray. It's got a little more blue in it, but it's almost like a underlying teal blue, but not bright. It's very, very grayish with that pop of more green blue. And this is my baby start, just right at the top center. So I normally don't stitch 1/2 on 40 count because I prefer like plush stitches, but I really like how kind of vintagey those stitches look for this particular pattern. So that's my baby start on that. Not much to look at quite yet, but I plan on getting some more progress on that, hopefully this month. And that is currently living in a So Much to Love bag, which is super cute. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? With the presidents. Show the chart there. I thought this went well with my kind of vintage needle minder. Oops. Isn't she cute? So that is my start number 1, and that is Early Workings on 40 count Colonial. I apologize if there's rustling. I'm going to go ahead and tuck some of these away. Okay. My next start, so this I went to Midsummer Stitch, as I mentioned, or did I mention with Lindy Stitches. I've started the video like 6 times now, so I've forgotten what I've actually said. And one of the exclusives to that retreat, which thank you Lindy Stitches for hosting. This is the first virtual retreat I've attended, and it was a lot of fun. I didn't get to participate as much as I wanted, but it was wonderful to have all of the things recorded so I could go back and revisit them and still get to join in the fun and enjoy the conversations and meetups and things of that nature. But Janine McGowan from The Blue Flower designed a special piece called A Boat of Magic. And this is what it looks like. And the Sarahs, who were a part of the retreat, so Sarah's Stitchery, she goes, Sarah Stitchy Reads on Instagram and Sarah Stitchery on YouTube, and Handmade by Sarah W. were both a part of the retreat, and they started a stitch along for this design on August 1st called Midsummer Start, I believe. And so the start I got, I'm debating. So this is it. And as you can see, the fabric, it's very pale, kind of pale green and pale pink modeling. And actually, believe it or not, the camera is picking up on that pretty good. That's pretty consistent with how pale it is. And I'm not certain I like it. I do like the little bat though, he's cute. And so these are all of the colors. They're like very rich, bold, jewel tones. They're beautiful. So these are the colors. But I'm debating whether or not I should restart it on something more, for lack of a better explanation, magical looking. Like this is the Mana Potion. This is a Oak Crown Studios Fabric of the Month, which I love. Look how cool that is. My only concern for this one, and you guys will have to let me know what you think, is Battleship and number 28. Are they just going to blend right in? It's almost like this fabric was designed with these colors in mind. And it wouldn't be a big giant to do, except that these pumpkins here, there's a lot of this color directly on the fabric. And I'm uncertain on whether or not this would match. Or, I mean, match too much, be kind of tone on tone. But the other colors would be fabulous. Like, look at this. This is Twilight. Twilight on here. And then look at this Concord Grape. And I really like, here it is, acai berry on there. Like, look at that. And so I'm conflicted on that one. Another option would be, I have Lunar, which is a 32 count by BeStitch Me. And it mimics the moon more so, obviously, with the name Lunar. And this is A Boat of Magic is in the Moon. So tell me what you think. Should I just keep it on the fabric it already is on? Or should I switch it up to get something more colorful? In part, so that moon in the middle pops. This is going to be the color of the moon. It's this blowing out because of the camera light, but it's white and kind of a green. It's called Chantilly by Weeks Dye Works. Totally washing out. Or blowing out. I don't know if I can get it so that you can see that. But what do you think? What should I do? Let me know what you think. Flossy Cowboy just disappeared. And now I can't ask his opinion, which I wanted to. But this, here's my cute little needle minder. I feel like that matched the pattern really well. So let me tuck these away. So though that is my number 2 start. And then I thought I'd go ahead and share with you what looks like the sister pattern that I've started for this pattern. So there are 2 patterns that Janine McGowan did. One of them is older. It's called Night Walked Down. And I feel like these just go hand in hand together. There's some, like, they belong together. And so I had started this one in the past as a birthday start. And this is on a 36 count. I believe this is Heather by Fiber on a Whim. I could be totally making that up though. And I had started her in the middle, right smack in the middle. And I'm doing 2/2 on 36 count to get those nice plush stitches. And so I think this is super cute. And I'd love to get both of these done to go hand in hand. And it's fun because this is, there's a resurgence or a recrudescence of the popularity of this piece, probably in part because this one has come out. And so I'm seeing this on Instagram, either that or it's just the algorithm. I don't know. And so it's inspired me to pull this one out and get back to work on it. I'm probably making you guys seasick with all of my... Ugh. It's like I've never floss tubed before. But look at these colors. I love these colors. My lovely ratty colors here. They're so beautiful. Like, look at this. There's just... Look at this. Look at that. How rich and purple. Look at this purple. They're so pretty. And they're very autumnal. But like late midsummer, early... They're magical. It's like, I don't know, elves singing in the woods, kidnapping people and entrancing them with their magic. Don't mind me and my runaway imagination there. But yeah. Have any of y'all read Laura Thalassa? I can't think of the new... She just came out with the new series not too long ago. Oh, it's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to Google it because this center character in the book, no spoilers, there's a large cat, essentially, like a panther. Laura, I think it's called Bewitched. yeah, Bewitched series. And all I can think of now is that character because of this giant cat. Like I said, don't mind me and my crazy brain. But this I'm keeping in a Little Boat 88 bag. Isn't it perfect? Oh my gosh. It's like literally perfect. Look at that. 2 magical night pieces in this. It's so good. Yeah. So there's my tangent, distraction, help, all of the above. So let me know what you think about the fabric on the... My brain just turned off. What is it called now? I literally just had a moment. This one, A Boat of Magic. That one. So I'd love your opinion. The next new start I had was a planned start. Those were a little, well, one of them was planned, one of them was a little impulsive. But the next one is Peace on Earth, and this was started in July for the Peaceful Summer Sal, which was hosted by Stitchy Linda. My brain just stopped again. Stitchy Linda and Tara Sullivan also participated. And this is by Shakespeare's Peddlar. It's Peace on Earth. This is what it looks like. Stitchy Linda made tremendous progress. I was like amazed. She stitched very quickly and it's beautiful. So I'm stitching mine 2/2 on 36 count. Mystery linen. It's kind of a minty green. I do know it's 36 count, and this is where I got to. Got all my, it's a cute Christmas cookies needle. Look at that, Christmas cafe. But this is where I am. And so I am up in the left corner working on, there's 2 small houses. I'm right here. So I like the floss palette. It's very primary colorish, but in a really good way. Like, look at this. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And so I worked on this a little bit for Christmas in July as well. And you can see the white border that is going to be going all the way around, and then there's going to be snowflakes all throughout there. Yeah. So that is my Peace on Earth by Shakespeare Peddlars for the Peaceful Summer Sal. And that is living in this beautiful bag by Sherry So Sweet. Isn't that cute? Yeah. So next is a full coverage. I've been in a bit of a full coverage mood lately. So I have been watching 2 stitchers that are full coverage stitchers. One is In Stitches with Ebony. She does a lot of full coverage and she does it very quickly, and it's incredible. If you've not checked her out, go watch her Whip Parade. I just was like, oh my gosh, I was drooling. Not really, but kind of maybe. And then Stitchery Lovers. So she does Stitch with Me's with the backdrop of music. And I've gotten hooked to those because I can just listen to her music and then just go. It's really good. So the first one I have been working on, y'all have seen me start, restart, give up, gift, and do all sorts of things with this project. Sorry, I keep looking down because I'm trying to find my tablet. This, for whatever reason though, I keep coming back to it. I can't say no to it. This is Once Upon a Fairy Tale by Amy Stewart. And I have finally finally settled on doing this with color expansion. So this is a regular chart with a color expansion, meaning it's not the typical 89 colors, but it's not the 224 or whatever for a max color. It's about 150. So there's a nice mix between block stitching and confetti without being overwhelming. And this is what it will look like. Many of you have seen this, and many stitchers are stitching this. I love this. Like, it's so good, so good. And I am up in the left-hand corner, and I have, in total, 3,000 stitches that I've put into this. And I can't remember if I actually have shown this to you since restarting it for the umpteenth time. What do you hear? Don't bark, please. Shh, no, girls. But this is what it looks like. And the difference, it's over. It's behind me. I think it's behind me. Let me see if I can, yes. I want to show you the difference between color expansion and regular. So this is color expansion, and that is regular. So you can see that with the added colors, there's quite a bit smoother detail as a result, particularly in the sky and in the tone of the stone castle wall. So there's a lot of like bright pinks in this one. But then when you compare it to this piece, you can see that it looks far, I'm probably muffled, you can see that it looks far smoother in presentation, and it's quite amazing. But I can tell you, this lantern had like 35 colors in it, just right in there. I was like, oh my gosh. But so this is Once Upon a Fairy Tale, Amy Stewart, full coverage, regular sized, for a total of around 402,000 stitches, give or take. So that is that one. And this is living in, look how fun this is. Isn't that fun with the fairies on it? Everything's like magical Midsummers. I've been inspired. So, and that is where that one stands. All right. Hot mess. Okay. So next is what I got the most amount of stitches in. Ooh, my needle minders are sticking together. This is Eugenie. This is Empress Eugenie surrounded by ladies, a heaven and earth chart. Original artist is Franz Xavier Winterhalter. And it has 339,000 stitches, 339,500 stitches. I put in about 6,000 stitches since you last saw it, and got the total percentage up to 21.73%, which is about 74,000 stitches, which is crazy to think about. And this is where it is. Oh, it's so good. Okay. So since you last saw it, I have essentially almost done this entire page. There's this little corner down here to do. And that is where I put all my stitches in. So what I'm going to do next is go down and finish this page out, and then go down and meet it up with this page. There's a needle coming through. And that will actually give you a visual of Eugenie's head. So I'm hoping in the next 2 to 3 months to actually have Empress Eugenie's head in there. which would be so cool. I would be so happy. And so this is, 74,000 stitches into this design. I've changed the way I'm stitching just a little bit because I really want to focus on getting this piece done. So what I do is I pull this out first every day and try to get 200 stitches into it. If I can accomplish getting 200 stitches into it, then I can tuck it away and work on another piece for whatever rotation I may be in, for whatever else I'm focusing on. And then if I don't, this is what I work on until that point. And so, oh my gosh, it looks so good. Look at that. I thought it was a lot of fun putting this in because there's so many reds and oranges, not oranges, more like golden browns and golden greens throughout this page. So it kind of gave autumnal vibes, which is so pretty. We've been like in the 90s the last few days though, so not cooling down. All right. And then I have 2 more whips. And then I will go over my giveaway and then talk about plans. And I have another giveaway in anticipation of autumn. So the next one is a pattern for my husband. This one is called Spot the Horse. It's a Carriage House Samplings. This is what it looks like. And I'm stitching this as called for on Havanna, the old Havanna by Weeks Dye Works, with the called for MPIs. 2/2 because my husband wanted it on a bigger count to frame. So since you last saw this, I worked on this one in the car. We went to North Carolina, and so I got to see my mom, and we went into the North Carolina mountains, and we had a lot of fun. Maybe. And so I added kind of the outline of Spot. I pulled out his spot and restitched it. I have replaced the called for color, which is NPI taupe, color 986 with a brighter yellow, which is color 132, so that it looks closer, according to my husband's taste, to the spots on the original picture. So I have been outlining Spot, and I have been carrying down the tree and getting that. So this is the bottom and this is the top. So we have both bottom and top, and then I can work that way. So yeah, he's cute. Mike's bothered by his leg right now because it looks so skinny. I think because I haven't filled in this section yet. I was like, it'll be fine. He's like, you should make it thicker. I'm like, no, we're following the pattern. Trust the process. So that is Spot. And that is in a lovely bag that was gifted to me by Sherry from Share Bear Stitcher that she made. I feel like it just goes hand, like, isn't this perfect? Don't they go together perfectly? So it's hanging out. Oops, don't want to show you the pattern. Hanging out in there. That's Spot's home. All right. And then last but not least, I have also been working, this is my Focus Mirabilia piece. This is Lady of the Flag. Next month will be the 25-year anniversary of the Twin Tower attacks for September 11th in the United States. And this originally came out in 2001 to commemorate and provide support to survivors and surviving families. And so this was re-released this year in limited number. I just lost my board. And so I have spent some time really carrying the flag down. So last you saw it, I think I had maybe just the little triangle, so I've carried it all the way down here. And this is on 32 count, Picture This plus Storm, which this is a Lugana. I prefer to stitch my fancy ladies on Lugana, and I prefer to stitch their skin 2/2, just because I like the way it looks. I don't think there's anything wrong with the way 1/1 looks. It's quite lovely. I'm lazy. But this is her, and this is where I focused. So, yeah, she's lovely. So that was my last whip. So let me do the giveaway. So it's a good segue with the patriotic piece. So last video, it's very bright still. I had a giveaway for a patriotic piece, George, in a decorative needle small bag. He's cute. And so the term was Patriotic Patriot. You guys were wonderful and shared how you celebrated and how you showed your patriotism during the holidays. And the winner was Alice, IWL66. And so shoot me an email. My email is ladylugana1@gmail.com, and I will get this in the mail for you. And he's cute and tiny, so he'll stitch up quick for you. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes, which I guess is a good segue. Let's talk about plans, and then I have one last giveaway for going into autumn. So in terms of things that I am kind of looking at stitching, I'm eager to get into spooky season. We are moving, and we've been actively working on getting the house ready to sell, and anticipate moving probably during spooky season. And so I want to get some stitches in before the chaos of the move. So things that I'm considering stitching are Plum Street Samplers, a Ghouldtide Welcome. And I'm stitching this 2/2 on 36 count Ale by Picture This Plus with a call for MPIs. So that is where I am. So I'm considering pulling this one back out. Look how rich those colors are. Good gracious, look at that pumpkin. That's good. Yeah. And so that's one option. Maybe I'll pull all of these out. Who knows? I like that. This one lives in a Lake House Stitch Company bag with like this vintage interior. Look at this. Isn't that cool? Yes. So that's potential number one. Potential number two, many of you have seen Carriage House Samplings Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I feel like this is almost, at least one Hawk Run Hollow, I feel like is almost a rite of passage for many cross-stitch stitchers. I don't know many that don't have at least one of this series going in some capacity. And I'm stitching this 1/2 on 46 count. Oh, it's a BeStitch Me. If you're extra curious, message me, because now it has escaped me and I have lost my board. That's okay. And I'm using the Victoria Clayton silk conversion for this one, with the exception of a Silken Colors. This was Sherry from Share Bear Stitcher's idea. This is the color she used, Acorn Woods. Oh, It's so cool. It's so pretty. Every time I show it like this, I'm like, I feel like doing a whole like monochrome piece in this. But all that to say is I'm using that as the border instead of black around the edges. And I'm saving all the back stitch for last, but I am in block number 2. So that's a definite work on. And then last but not least is my Plum Street, which I love this one. This is Blackbird Fractor by Plum Street Samplers, Paulette Stewart. And I'm stitching this one with Patty as well. We started this one together as well. And oh, I love this one. This is on 36 count. So that first one was Picture This Plus 36 count Ale, and this is 36 count Wren. Look at that. And I'm doing 2/2 on this. The only difference is that instead of using coal, I'm using black licorice because I did not have coal at the time. Isn't that pretty? My goodness. Let me get back to that one too. So those are plans. Spooky season is my favorite. So in anticipation of spooky season and to celebrate, because we'll probably be in the midst of a move, I wanted to make sure that we spread the love, spread the spooky love. So these are 2 fancy ladies. This is Mirabilia's Shakespeare's Faeries, which this is Halloween to me. Like, this makes me think Halloween. Everything though, it's like a theme, Midsummer fairy theme. Still speaks Halloweenish to me, but it's also Midsummer Fairies. So, and then I have Lavender and Lace's Autumn. So if you are interested in winning these, I'm going to be sending both of them together. Tell me what you are doing for spooky season or autumn if you are not a spooky season kind of person. And let's use the word. What should the word be? Let's go fall, F-A-L-L, because then you can talk about autumn and spooky season for your fall plans. But yes, so if you have any interest in these, let me know. And I think that's all. It was great to spend time with you guys today. I hope that you had some fun and saw some things that were interesting to you. I will link all of the cross stitchers I've mentioned, or the floss tubes I've mentioned, down below. Check them out. I love their videos. I have been hooked. So, and I will see you the next time around. You guys have a great day. Bye.